The distributive property. What does distribute mean? Well, when I think of distribute, I think of presents. So I think of presents at Christmas time or at other events. And distribute means that you give gifts to everyone. So I'm going to give a gift to this person, and this person. They each are going to get their own gift. So distribute means to share something out equally to everyone. Why is the distributive property useful? Well, you might have seen this before, but you can use it for multiplying large numbers in your head. So you take 23. Well, that's actually something we can break into two parts. That's 20 plus 3 times 6. So we have this whole quantity of 20 plus 3 times 6. The 6 needs to be multiplied times each of these numbers in the parentheses. So 20 times 6 is 120. 3 times 6 is 18. You add them up and you get 138. That should get you the exact same answer as if you multiplied the numbers out like normal. And you can see that it does. That is why the distributive property is useful. It's also useful later on in algebra. Let's try this one. 8 times 53. You can pause the video, see if you can break it apart using the distributive property, and find the answer. Alright, hopefully you paused it and you came up with the answer. We'll see if we get the same answer. We have 8 times, and let's break that 53 apart. That's a 50 plus a 3. And then we take that 8 and we multiply it times both of these numbers. 8 times 50 is 400. 8 times 3 is going to be 24. The answer should be 424. We can even use this to help us find the answer to some multiplying problems with fractions or mixed numbers. Find half of 4 3/4. So, anytime you see half of something, that means half times that number. So we got 1/2 times 4 3/4. Okay, now we got to give that half. We've got to take half of both of those numbers in the parentheses. So half of 4 is 2 plus half of 3/4 is going to be 1/2 times 3/4 equals 3/8. So 2 plus 3/8 is equal to 2 3/8. You might like that way better than turning 4 3/4 into an improper fraction. Now we're getting to why the distributive property is very powerful. We need the distributive property to do a lot of the things we need to do in algebra. So in this case, use the distributive property to simplify the expression 4 times the quantity n plus 5. Anytime you have 4 and then some parentheses, you don't see the operation. The operation is going to be times n plus 5. And we need to distribute that 4 to each of the numbers in the parentheses. So we have 4n plus, because that's the plus right there, 4 times 5 is 20. And this is as far as we can go because we don't know how much n is. So 4 times the quantity n plus 5 is the same, it is equivalent to 4n plus 20. Use the distributive property to simplify the expression 12 times the quantity 2y minus 3. Alright, so 12 times this quantity, 12 times 2y, that means 12 2y's, that means 24 y's minus, because that's the sign that's in between them, and then the 12 also has to be shared to the 3. 12 times 3 is 36. One last one. Use the distributive property to simplify the expression 9 times the quantity 6 plus x plus 2. And I really made a mistake right now. I just used an x for my time sign. Why wouldn't that be a good idea? It's not a good idea because I'm using x to stand for a number and there could be some confusion. So the better way to do it is to use the dot. That dot stands for multiplication also. Now I need to distribute this 9 to each of the numbers inside the parentheses. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 9 times x is 9x's plus 9 times 2 is 18. This is almost finished. I should put the 54 and the 18 together because the commutative property says that adding can happen in any order. So I got 18 plus 54 plus 9x, and that can be 72 plus 9x.